First mentor in Alpharetta. His name's Victor Antonio. Victor, if you're watching this, love you, bro. He knows that. And I remember coming here, we used to hang out at Starbucks a lot. That was like the place for us to go. Really nice, he taught me a lot. He's a sales trainer, but he taught me about other things besides just sales. Maybe we should hang out here for just a couple seconds. What do you think? I'll pull you up a chair. Lots to think about, lots to talk about. There's a lot of different philosophies about life and about education. One of the problems that I think right now a lot of people have is we have an application problem. So we don't have an education problem, would you agree? We have an application problem. The information age is pretty much dead at this point. I mean, and what I mean by that is like, that's not the age we're in. We don't need more information. But the problem is application. People don't do what they know. And so in life, usually success is 80% psychology and 20% technique. Same thing in public speaking. People always ask me, hey, let's go a little, because I'm burning. But people ask me, and definitely watch your step again, you know, what's the technique? How do I open a speech? How do I start? Here's the thing, you know how to speak. And here's my proof for that. If you've ever been at, perhaps, let's just say like a wedding, and you had a couple of wines, you know, I don't drink anymore, but I used to, and you had a couple wines in you, a couple Heinekens, and you're all of a sudden, you're going up to people, you're having perfect technique. Well, was technique the problem during that time? The technique's not the problem, right? So it's a psychology. It's what people get filtered in, and they start to put on this facade. And part of what I teach is to help people to remove that facade so that they are who they're supposed to be. They just are themselves. I see the Regal Cinemas right over there. When I was younger, I wanted to be an actor, you know? And I remember being 21 years old and thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be an actor. It was a good time. Really asked myself the question, why did I want to be an actor? The reason I wanted to be an actor was because I was not being my true self. I was too stifled, too introverted as a person. And instead, I wanted to just find different ways to like remove that fakeness and stop living a life like Hermit the Crab, you know, where he's like put on this helmet and he's not being, you know, his true self. So I was living that kind of lifestyle. So I tried a lot of different things to remove that barrier. And one of the things I tried was acting. So I would go to movie theaters and I would sit inside those movie theaters and I would watch all types of movies. Some of my favorite actors back in the day were people like DiCaprio, Johnny Depp, Pacino, Robert De Niro, probably my favorite actor of all time. And it was good to me. But here's the thing, acting itself did not help me to become myself and to become non-filtered. It wasn't acting. So I tried different things, like I would show up to like poetry, slam poetry, do a lot of these things, and that didn't work either. And then one of the things that I started doing was taking on sales jobs and sales roles. Because in sales, what are you always doing? You're always presenting. And so I thought if I present a lot, then I'll be able to get really, really comfortable presenting and speaking. But here's the thing, there's two types of speaking. There's presentation skills, and then there is social skills and actually being yourself and having a deep level identity shift. Presentation skills is where a lot of people, they feel like that's where the true problem is. If you think about most presentations, you're only doing it for about 5-10 minutes, So that's not really the issue. Being yourself and being your true self at all times, that's what I help people to do.